Hey guys, DJ Jack is back with you with here another video. And 1 year ago, I made a video on this channel saying who would I like to interview from the 80s. Well, I actually have last year I don't think I actually could make a really one decision. So, I'm going to give you two mates I'd like to interview 80s bands or 80s singers. Billy Joel and Steve Perry. Definitely on my top to-do list. If I could interview one of them as a personality or something, I would love to interview them. Now, people like singers that aren't living with us anymore, who would I like to interview? From the 60s, Ricky Nelson. Definitely like to interview him. I'd love to interview all the Beatles together. That would be pretty cool. And maybe, I think I'd also like to interview possibly, the Young Rascals. They would be someone I would really like to interview. Maybe the Byrds, too. All the Byrds members of Turn. These are just ideas of bands that I love. I wish I could have interviewed. I wish I could interview. I wish I had an opportunity to interview them. I know the 60s bands I mentioned, some of those band members aren't living anymore. Some of those singers aren't living anymore, and some are still living. But still, I think those are my top to-do lists. I probably also like to interview John Fogerty from Clarence Clearwater Revival. I think I'd love Clarence Clearwater Revival. I think I'd like to interview him too, maybe, and talk to him about how he got the rights to his songs to buy the rights to how he officially has the full rights to Clarence Clearwater Revival songs now, to use those songs and stuff, which is really great. I just like to talk about all that, interview these people. Like, I don't know what I'll ask Billy Joel. I think I'd ask Billy Joel, like, what was it like to record, You May Be Right? What was it like to record The Piano Man? And how did you feel when it became a hit? That's all something I'd like to talk about to Billy Joel. Now, Steve Perry, on the other hand, I just tell him you're my hero. I just want to say that I loved you with Journey. I loved you when you were at Journey. Even though I'm younger to not remember you being with Journey, but still, I support you as a singer and give so much credit to you about being with your time with Journey. I know it wasn't always great times, but I know you made it very special to so many listeners around the world, Steve Perry, that people admire you and adore you, Steve Perry, for your work with Journey, one of the greatest rock bands of all time, in my opinion. Yeah. Now, Ricky Nelson, what would I say to Ricky Nelson if he was still living with us and I interviewed him? I'd say, I love your movie when you were a kid, or the TV show of Ozzie and Harriet. I love that show. I watch it all the time on Peacock. Really, really good. And I'll also tell him maybe, like I love your song Traveling Man. You have a lot of great hits. I mean, I can't think of them all, but I'd say I like a lot of your hits, and what inspired you to get into so many good music? I know you've been loving music since you were a kid, because I listened to the real Don Steele yesterday in the morning, and he had on the recording of Life in the 60s on my internet radio station here, and I heard a recording of when he interviewed Ricky Nelson, asking about what made him get into music and how did you do it, Rick? And he said, I've been loving into music since I was a kid and all that, and something like that. It's really, really great. It was a great interview. Great listening to. Besides that, I'm DJ Jack. This is just my video talking about who would I interview if I had the chance. A singer or 80s band singer or 60s singer or band that I'd like to interview. So besides that, hit that subscribe button. We'll talk later.